What are we doing today, Alex?
We are hot spring hopping. So we are in what forest?
Willamette National Forest.
Willamette National Forest. We're on Mackenzie River Trail on the 126. We just hit up Cougar Hot Springs and we're getting passed right now. What's up? And we are heading to Blue Pool right now, and then we're gonna hit up a few more hot springs afterwards. So
Where are we going to stay tonight?
we're camping!
Woo! What you doing? Woo!
Katie caught me peeing earlier, so I gotta get her because she peed in the same spot that I did. What'd you do?
Double marked our spot. Nancy.
Oh, she wants that. She thinks it's a ball.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Cheese.
Score.
Cheese.
So my name's Logan. I'm 30. I'm from Wisconsin, and I've lived in Oregon for 6 years.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Before you got like completely immersed into the outdoors, like backpacking, hiking scene, what advice would you have given to yourself maybe 10, 15 years ago?
Just don't be afraid to reach out to people for advice. I think it's really intimidating, especially in like the social media space, that you see all these people doing all these epic things and you think like, oh, my body can't do that. I have to train and do all these crazy things. I have to be in the best shape of my life, and it's really not true. I think just don't wait and go for it, but definitely, you know, do your research and be prepared for an emergency in case you have to be. So I think going with people who are more experienced really helped me feel more comfortable.
For someone glancing at your profile or like scrolling through your photos, your captions, what message would you want them to take away about you?
Stay positive, stay true to yourself, and you know, there's going to be things that are going to come up in your life, and just try to stay on the positive mindset. I think we can get inside our own head and just go down into this deep dark circle, and it's always rising up above everything else and above what everyone else thinks about you or whatever you make up inside your head about yourself. It's just overcoming that, and just staying true to yourself and what you want.
I just had one big question for you. One more. What advice would you have for us as two young women setting out on a somewhat ambitious journey?
Again, don't let anyone's judgments get in the way, especially being, two young females. I'm sure people place their judgments on what are you guys doing out there alone, or what are you guys doing without guides, or what are you doing without this, and this. And I don't think it takes expensive gear or like massive, you don't have to be in the best shape of your life to be doing what you're doing. I think you guys have already made the step in, quitting your jobs and doing something that you love. So just stay on track with that, and that's all that matters, summit or not.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much for talking with us and putting us up for the night, letting us hang out with your dog.
Yeah, you're welcome. Glad it worked out.
Yesterday we climbed Mount Hood, and we did have plans to like crash with somebody, but unfortunately they kind of fell through a little bit last minute, and we really didn't want to have to drive from Mount Hood National Forest back to Portland because we had to drop off gear rentals and then back out to Mount Hood National Forest, because that would be like 3 hours total after not sleeping for the full night.
We were pretty dead.
I started looking for couch surfing hosts at about 2 p.m. And by 2:30 p.m. we had a response from somebody for that night, which was really awesome. So we found this location that was actually a shared communal house with like 8 young people. They all have like a communal kitchen, so they have like shared food. A lot of them are vegan. It had like a compost, and
they had like a ton of rules up all around. Well, we're just like expectations for the house, and it was cool because like I have been blessed with like good roommate situations, but the amount of intentional living and like care they put to their communal space was something I hadn't experienced before. With the main guy who hosts, we got to sit down with him for about an hour and chat today, and it was just easy, you know, like there was no pressure, and definitely an A+ experience so far.
And the cool thing is that he spent a lot of time couch surfing as like a surfer before hosting, and so his way of giving back to all the people that helped him out is by like hosting now. Even though they live in a home with a lot of people, like they're still willing to open it up to even more and take a chance on strangers, which was just really cool, because something I think we've both learned so far this trip is how hard it is to accept help, but then once you start accepting it, it's just like so awesome seeing the generosity of people, and like everyone who we've met and interacted with so far has been so just generous and giving and doesn't want anything in return and just does it because they, you know, want to.
No, it was really cool, especially like coming off our experience with Hood, which we'll talk more about later, but just the help and patience and generosity we received with that was like unlike a lot of things I've experienced. So like after that, to then be welcomed in to someone's home for free, I don't know, I've always believed this, and like this trip so far has only heightened it for me, that when you put like your trust and generosity out in the universe to people, like they repay you with good faith and like, you know, let you believe in that trust. So it was a really cool experience.
Beautiful.
Thanks.
Yeah, so thanks to Hive. If you guys need any place to stay in Portland, Oregon, and want to meet some really awesome people, check out the Hive.
Awesome.
So we had an idea to watch an episode of Stranger Things in our tent tonight, but our hotspot won't work. And we can't get it to play. Boo!
What you making?
PB&J.
Woo!
Road trip classic.
What else are we doing?
We're boiling some fresh river water. For our Trader Joe's Colombian instant coffee.
Woo!
We have some almond milk. We are living on a budget, but we are also 2 Southern California girls. So we need our almond milk.
Waiting for a hopeful interview?
Yeah,
Let's do it.
Right now.
All right. Hello. Good morning. So Alex made a friend last night at our campsite in Willamette National Forest.
So we pulled up last night, and there was an older male and female camping right next to us, and they had like a huge camping setup, and their dog ran up to me, so I started talking to the male, and he was an Oregon native. He had climbed Hood twice in the early 90s. He was originally from Sandy, stationed in Sandy, but would kind of spend a lot of his time out in the parks camping, and so he was pretty much the perfect interview subject. And he was with his sister who worked at Timberland Lodge. And last night, I was talking to them, and I told them about the project, and I asked if we could interview them in the morning, and they were all about it.
So we went to Mirror Lake for sunrise this morning, and we got back around 8 o'clock, and their campsite, there was no sign of movement, so we're like, okay. So we took out our breakfast, took out our coffee, took our time making food. About an hour later, we kind of put it all away. We were still waiting. We tried to take our computers out and do some work. We waited for about another hour, and we kind of talked it over, and we know it's like interview subjects don't come along every day. So we kind of had to make a decision about like, do we potentially waste like a couple more hours waiting for them to get out of their tent and get ready, or do we trust that we'll find more subjects?
Thus far in Oregon, it's been a little bit more challenging.
Yeah.
But, you know, we still have a few days left in Sandy. It's kind of frustrating, but I'm hoping that we can find some people today.
So, wish us good luck today. Box of bits, and I could give one to every man on the trail, or just in general, who has been guilty of this, man, life would be good.
Magnificent views, volcanic, last eruption 1786. Cold, but I love it. Lumberjacks, Timberline Lodge, absolutely gorgeous. Snow, my soulmate, proud to be an Oregonian. God, wow, God made that mountain, it's beautiful. I mean, see, all of these things. This is our first interactive, and this was done by my volunteer exhibit designer, and I'm very proud of what she did and came up with this idea because it's a very good idea. So my name is Anne Marie. I grew up here. My last name is Amstead now, but I was a Hannahburg. I grew up right north of Sandy in Bull Run. Went to a 3-room school, graduated from Sandy High School, and became a teacher at Western Oregon University. And then when I came back here and taught for 31 years, after I retired, I became very actively involved with the Sandy Historical Society.
What is probably your favorite little historical fun fact to share with people about Sandy?
Well, Sandy is really the gateway to Mount Hood. It'll always be, because Highway 26 comes right through it. And so now I say, you know, it's always going to be the gateway. And so my motto is, today is tomorrow's history. We should keep as much of that as we can, because I have seen Sandy grow from a tiny little city when I was young of just over 1,000 to now it's 11 to 14,000 in just the city limits. Growing up here, you take it for granted because you grew up in a beautiful area like this, but greeting the visitors that come through our visitor center and museum, you really are proud of what activities and facilities there are to do this.
What piece of advice would you give to people who might not see the value in a town like Sandy?
I'd say it has a small town feel. It's getting larger, but we have a small town feel with very nice people who enjoy visitors and who embrace people from all over the world. And if people want to know about Sandy, they come in here and we can tell them, you know?
How you doing?
Hi, good, how are you?
Very good. What's your phone?
Can we just get regular, please?
Regular phone?
Yes. Thank you.
So weird. Should we tip them?
Any Safeway points?
Yes.